All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are breaking down Ramit Sethi's massive bestseller, I Will Teach You to Be Rich. We're going to distill it all down into a clear, actionable system, covering the mindset, the method, and the engine that can help you build what he calls your rich life.
Okay, let's just jump right in with the exact question Ramit Sethi uses to kick things off. It's a bit provocative, right? But it's designed to make us think about why we struggle so much with money. He argues that the way we handle our finances is a lot like another area where our best intentions tend to just fall apart, our health.
So Ramit points out this crazy parallel. We treat our money almost exactly like we treat our health. We feel guilty, so we ignore the problem, and instead of focusing on the big things that actually move the needle, we get totally bogged down in tiny, distracting details, like arguing about a new fad diet or a fraction of a percent on a savings account.
So what's really going on here? Where does this come from? Well, he calls them invisible scripts. These are basically the subconscious beliefs about money that we've absorbed our entire lives, from our parents, from society, without ever even questioning them. And these scripts can control our financial behavior for decades.
And this is exactly why his core philosophy isn't about restriction or feeling guilty. To really change your finances, you have to change your mindset first. And that means focusing on a few powerful moves he calls big wins.
It all starts with defining your personal rich life. Now, this is not about having $1 million in the bank. It's about having the freedom to spend extravagantly. Go nuts on the things that are truly important to you, whether that's travel or convenience or helping others, while being absolutely ruthless about cutting costs on the things you just don't care about.
Just look at this example. For this person, a rich life wasn't a sports car. It was the freedom to just take 9 months off to travel the world. That's huge! Your definition is going to be completely different from theirs, and that is the entire point.
So how do you actually get there? Simple. You forget the lattes. Seriously. Ramit argues that focusing on these handful of big wins, things like automating your investments or negotiating your salary, will get you results that are worth tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars more than a lifetime of skipping coffee.
So that's the philosophy. Now, let's get into the nuts and bolts, the system that makes it all happen, the conscious spending plan. And it starts by rejecting a piece of advice we hear all the time.
The very first myth we need to bust is that being good with money just means being cheap. Ramit draws this super clear line. Instead of obsessing over the cost of everything, like cheap people, you become a conscious spender by obsessing over the value of the things you absolutely love.
And check out how simple this is. Your take-home pay gets divided into just 4 buckets. That's it. About 50–60% goes to fixed costs, rent, utilities, you know the drill. A solid 10% is for your long-term investments. Another 5–10% is for specific savings goals like a vacation or a house down payment. And the best part? The rest, that 20–35%, is all yours to spend, completely guilt-free.
But here's the real magic that makes it all work. Automation. Your paycheck comes in and boom, a series of automatic transfers sends money straight to your investment accounts like a 401k or a Roth IRA and to your savings. Then your bills get paid automatically. You are literally paying yourself first, and the whole system runs on its own.
Once this is all set up, you barely have to think about it. The goal is not to become an expert at tracking every penny in a spreadsheet. No way. The goal is to build a system that lets you get on with your life, totally confident that your money is working for you in the background.
Now let's talk about the engine that powers this entire system, investing on autopilot. And to get started, we have to tackle one of the biggest myths that holds people back from building wealth.
It's crazy how many of us are held back by this belief that investing is too complicated, too risky, or it's only for people who are already rich. This one fear causes people to lose out on hundreds of thousands of dollars over their lifetimes. But the truth is, it's much, much simpler than you'd think.
To see why starting early is the ultimate big win, just look at the story of Smart Sally and Dumb Dan. Sally invests just $200 a month for 10 years, from age 35 to 45, and then she stops. Dan waits until he's 45, but he invests the same amount for 20 years. That's twice as long.
So what's the result? Well, even though Sally invested half as much money for half the time, she ends up with over $60,000 more than Dan. This isn't magic, it's the raw power of compound interest. The single most important factor for success is not picking the right stocks, it's just starting early.
So where should you put that money? Ramit's advice is crystal clear. Ignore the so-called experts and their expensive funds. The data shows that most of them fail to beat the market anyway. Instead, you just use simple, low-cost options like index funds, which are funds that automatically hold all the major stocks, or target date funds. Both of these automatically diversify your money and keep fees incredibly low.
So when you put this all together, you see it's not about learning some secret Wall Street tricks. It's about using a simple system to take back control and start building your own rich life.
Okay, let's do a quick recap. First, you define what a rich life means to you. Then, you automate your finances so you pay yourself first. You focus on the big wins, like starting to invest early in simple, low-cost funds, and then you get to spend the rest of your money totally guilt-free.
And Ramit's final takeaway might just be the most important one. This isn't a Disney movie, and nobody's coming to rescue you. But the great news is, you can take control of your finances yourself and build your rich life. This is all about empowerment, realizing you have the tools to design the life you truly want to live, starting right now.
Which leaves us with just one final, powerful question for you to think about. Once you stop worrying about money, what do you actually want to do with it? What does your rich life truly look like?